Chinese President Xi Jinping has scolded Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, what appears to be a hot mic moment made for the world to see. The cringeworthy 40-second-long exchange came on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Bali. She appeared to be irritated after details of an earlier conversation with Trudeau had been leaked to the Canadian media.
Everything we discuss is then leaked to the paper. That's not appropriate.
而且我们也不是那样进行的。
And that's not how the way the conversation was
如
conducted.
果有诚心，
If there is
Canada, we
sincerity
believe
on
in
your part,
free and open and frank dialogue, and that is what we will continue to have. We will continue to look to work constructively together, but there will be things we will disagree on, and we will
有
have
一些
to
可以建设性，但是
创造条件，创造条件。
Let's create the conditions first.
好。
And done. Earlier this week, the two leaders held their first face-to-face conversation in more than 3 years. Trudeau reportedly raised serious concerns over China's domestic interference, including allegations China meddled in Canada's 2019 election. For more on all this, joined by CNN's Will Ripley in Bangkok, Thailand. So, Will, Xi Jinping, he's so strange at being on the world stage. He knows where the cameras are. It seemed this dressing down of Trudeau was done knowing it would be seen around the world. What a humiliation it was.
It is certainly remarkable considering just how buttoned up and how carefully controlled the state media is in China, which of course is not showing this exchange. And yet this back and forth where Xi Jinping is basically putting on display this muscular style of face-to-face diplomacy that has been so lacking in recent years because he's been hunkered down in the mainland, in Beijing, doing virtual summits and avoiding face-to-face contact. Now he's out on the global stage. He was in Bali. He's on his way here to Bangkok. He'll be landing within the next 2 hours, and there's no mask on, despite zero COVID in China, where people in Beijing are being told to wear masks all the time. He's shaking hands, and he's getting right up in the faces of some of the most important allies of the United States after that 3-hour meeting on Monday with President Biden, which was an attempt to, if not a reset, it certainly sit down and have a discussion and be clear, have clarity about the mutual goals of China and the United States. He then went on to meet with other U.S. allies, Australia, France, the Netherlands, South Africa. Australia was a big meeting. They've had a very tense relationship in recent years. There have been tariffs. There's been increasing tension over a myriad of issues, but it basically went back to Australia calling for an investigation into the origins of COVID-19. And now you have this kind of informal discussion with Justin Trudeau, where Xi Jinping is, with that swagger of somebody who's basically been bestowed the title of emperor for life. He essentially now has unchecked power inside China. He showed the world and those cameras exactly that he now is wielding the strength in these face-to-face meetings. So listen to what Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, had to say after that exchange.
Listen, I think that people know that not all the conversations are going to be easy with the other leaders, especially when it comes to issues that are sources of disagreement.
One thing that President Biden has basically kind of created this narrative over the last few years that Xi Jinping has been absent from these face-to-face meetings is that there is this global, escalating conflict, if you will, between the free world and the autocratic world. But Xi Jinping pushed back on that, calling his style of governance, where essentially he has an echo chamber of yes men, allowing him to move forward with any of his objectives with virtually unchecked power. He calls that Chinese-style democracy.